Diver 2 is on bailout.
I will come back for you.
Rachel aboard!
Hey guys, Society Reviews here, my review of the film Last Breath. Alex Parkinson is known for being the director of various documentaries that focus on nature and tragic events. 6 years ago, Parkinson directed the documentary under the same title, Last Breath, which told the story of a diver who was trapped underwater with no oxygen for over several minutes. A time period where anyone would have been declared clinically brain dead is nothing short of a miracle for surviving. So when Hollywood comes around to bring the story to the big screen, they decide to get the same director from the documentary to do the theatrical release. That decision was a mistake. Last Breath is a film about a group of deep-sea engineers who work on one of the most dangerous jobs in the world at the bottom of the North Sea. The trio is called to repair an energy pipeline that is 100 meters below the surface level. Duncan, David, and Chris, played by Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Finn Cole, are working on the pipeline when a massive storm causes the ship that they are tethered to become unstable, forcing the trio to evacuate. As Duncan and David make it back, Chris is trapped and his tether is snapped, causing him to fall even deeper into the ocean floor. With a complete lack of oxygen, this would have meant certain death for any diver. Refusing to give up, the crew comes up with a last-ditch emergency effort to retrieve Chris in hopes of saving his life before decompression and a lack of oxygen take him out. The reason why the cinematic version of Last Breath falls short is the fact that you have a documentary director who is not experienced in directing what should be a high-octane thriller movie. As a result of this, the filmmakers believe that they can balance his inexperience by adding 3 screenwriters to make his efforts more easy for Parkinson. The problem with this is that the other screenwriters aren't experienced themselves in making cinematic movies, so what you have here is the cinematic equivalent of The Blind Leading the Blind, with a couple of notable actors trying to make the best of the limited direction they're given. The film is roughly 90 minutes long. The first act of the story doesn't do a good job of setting the tone for The first act of the story does a pretty good job of setting up the stage for the conflict for the movie. However, when disaster finally strikes, the film feels like it's progressing to the next plot point rather than telling a story. Several years ago, Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg became together for a series of films that were titled Docbusters, which were real-life events that were done in an entertaining cinematic level. Last Breath does not meet the energy of films such as Deep Sea Horizon and Patriots Day, but the biggest upsell for the film is the cinematography that encapsulates what it feels like to be trapped, suffocating in the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. Everything about this film on paper sounds exciting, but the movie is the cinematic equivalent of drinking a flat Dr. Pepper. On paper, it's certainly a Dr. Pepper, but it just doesn't taste right. Parkinson achieves bringing authenticity to a real-life story outside of the fact that none of the actors from the movie look like their real-life counterparts. The movie has the same level of excitement that the documentary did, which is not what you want from a survivor thriller movie. There's a reason why this film took nearly 2 years to find a distributor who decided to dump this film out in a sea of limited release movies, hoping to just release it and be done with it. Last Breath is a textbook example of idea versus execution. No matter how good an idea may be, the execution of said idea is what's going to make or break a story. Last Breath isn't going to win any Academy Awards anytime soon. However, there should be an award given to a film that can take a story about a man who miraculously survived being at the bottom of the ocean for almost 30 minutes with no oxygen and surviving and somehow turning that story into a mundane adventure. I give this film a 2.5 out of 5.
How much gas does he have left?
Not enough. We're gonna be too late. It's a body recovery now.
No, it's not. I'm not losing a diver today.